Hi there, and Genius banner is about to leave us in less than a week, and right after that we're gonna get a new 1.1 update where the phase 1 banner will be a new character Silverwolf, and in this video we're gonna discuss what you can already prepare for her and what you shouldn't actually prepare because it's not that simple. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. And first of all, I want to talk about two things which are the most efficient ones to prepare and pre-farm for Silverwolf. Those of course are level up materials and trace materials. With level up materials it's really simple. If we are talking about relics or light cons, you can still replace them first days when you're using the character, while you can't use Silverwolf level 1 for example. That's why first of all, if you already invested into main characters which you are usually using currently, you can easily just farm the resources you are seeing on the screen. Depending on your Trailblaze level and what is your max available level for the characters, just farm the amount of resources which you personally need and which you see on the screen, and also don't forget about credits and XP material for characters. Right after acquiring all the resources to level up the character, I really recommend you starting to farm the trace level materials. They are also really important. They give you a stable increase of strength of the character. It's not needed to farm all the materials so you can trace up the character fully, but still farm as much as you can, especially taking into account that some of these resources you can farm infinitely from, for example, simulated universe. And now if you got all the necessary trace up materials and level up materials, we can discuss light cons and relic sets which we also can pre-farm. But right before that I want to say a few words about Silverwolf as character herself, just to explain how she works so you can understand why we are looking for this or that stats or additional effects on the light cons or on the relic set. So Silverwolf is quantum nihility character which main purpose is to apply lots of different useful debuffs on the enemy with some certain chance, and also to act as sub DPS character. And for us it's really important to apply those debuffs. That's why we want to increase the chance of them to be applied, and we have a stat which is responsible for this, which is called effect hit rate. So we are really looking for this exact stat on the relic set and also on the light cons. Also it's important for us to increase the speed, since this character does not rely on her skill that much. Of course, this is one of the stronger things in her kit, but since she can apply the additional weakness on the main enemy, then she can just use her basic attacks, and due to her passive, her basic attacks are really strong. They might be one of the most efficient basic attacks in the game. That's why speed is also good for us. Also, if you're talking about her ultimate, it's really useful too. That's why we don't mind additional regeneration rate for this character too. If you're talking about the light cons, we already have few okay options. First one is in the name of the world. If you are lucky to get this light con, it will increase our damage as well as effect hit rate and attack. And also we have other option which is resolution shines as pearls of sweat. Again, both of those can work on Silverwolf, but the main thing is with Silverwolf's character banner we also are about to get Silverwolf's lightcon banner, and obviously her signature lightcon is the best option for this character because we are increasing our effect hit rate, which is important for us. Also we increase our damage outcoming from the character, and also depending on the debuffs on the enemy we can increase the damage this enemy receives. This is really good for this character, though of course not everyone is going to summon for her lightcon. That's why we are also getting in the update 1.1 a new 4-star Nihility lightcon, which is also really good for this character. It will increase our effect hit rate again, and also depending on defense reduction debuff on the enemy we can regenerate our energy. We can apply defense reduction buff on the enemy with Silverwolf. That's why it's also really good. So I don't really recommend you investing in any currently existing lightcon for Silverwolf. It's much better just to save up resources. You can also pre-farm resources for the lightcons and invest into these new ones when they come out. And now let's talk about relic set finally. And first of all I want to say that since we are not Trailblaze level 65 or above currently, so we have not the best rates for relic sets farming stages, and also since Silverwolf anyway is not our main DPS character in the team, this makes her not that sensitive to relic set which we are putting on her. That's why I won't recommend you investing into pre-farming relic set that much, especially because usually we can figure out what will be the best combination of stats and set only after proper testing when the character came out. So currently it's not that reasonable to actually prepare the perfect god roll set for this character, though of course we already can talk about some options which we can currently farm for. And I think, to my opinion, again, it's not like the general truth, the best set we can currently farm for Silverwolf is Musketeer set. First of all, because it's really universal. If you farm this exact set for Silverwolf and then you farm for better set for Silverwolf, you anyway can use this set on some other characters, like for example Tinyun or any other Harmony character, or maybe any other Nihility character without any problem. You can even use this set on your main DPS characters temporarily before you farm for a proper one. This set provides additional attack, which is anyway good because this exact character, Silverwolf herself, is really good in terms of her basic attacks with her passive, and also of course it's always good to generate some more energy for us, and of course with additional speed we will have more actions in one cycle, so it will give us a bit more energy, this will give us a bit more ultimates, this will give us a bit more space to properly activate our skill on the enemies. That's why I think this is just simply the best set we can currently farm for. Though of course we have Nihility set, which will give us a bit more damage overall. Also we can use it as a combination, we can use 2 parts from Musketeer set and 2 parts from Nihility set without any problem, if you have a really good rolls on those. And also if you have some parts of a break effect set, you can use it if the rolls are really good, but I don't really recommend, because playing around break, at least currently we haven't got any testings for this character yet, but I think it might be not that efficient, because if you break enemies too much, of course they have to take their turns to actually recover from break, and since quantum break effect pushes enemy back from their actions, it will be really tricky for them to recover from break. Again, I'm not saying that potentially it might not become the best set. In theory, depending on meta, depending on testings people do when this character actually comes out, it might be the best set, but currently I think you can use break set pieces only if you have a really good rolls and stats on those, and we now are gonna talk about main stats and substats which you're gonna look for in context of Silverwolf. And now talking about main stats on relic set, of course we are not talking about head and gloves because they have HP and attack respectively, but if you're talking about body, the main stat we are looking for will be definitely an effect hit rate. Again, it might not seem that useful first weeks when we are using Silverwolf, because we are still in like a mid-late game, and potentially in future enemies might get lots of effect resistance, and then it will be really hard to apply additional weaknesses. That's why currently, maybe in theory, crit or attack might be better when we can anyway guarantee ourselves to apply those weaknesses. But in future, definitely effect hit rate will be the must on Silverwolf. That's why in body the best option is to just hunt for effect hit rate. While with fit it's a bit more complicated. Obviously speed is like one of the best options just because you can increase the amount of actions you take. But if you really have problems with fighting a fit where you have speed as main stat, you can just end up with attack. Again, it's not like crucial, you won't become useless, but with speed I think it will be much better, again, since Silverwolf is a unique type of character which with her passive can use her basic attacks really efficiently. It's like Tinyun, where you don't have to apply your skill every time. Time to time you can just use your basic attacks and they will be actually useful. That's why, of course, increasing the amount of basic attacks with speed might be just the best option, but if you really have problems with fighting speed boots, you can just go for attack until you find a better part or relic set. Now, if we are talking about planar ornaments, of course it will be much harder to find a really good part of proper set with good substats, though obviously the best one would be a pan-galactic commercial enterprise, just because you increase your effect hit rate, and you actually need lots of effect hit rate, as we already discussed. Though if you have really big struggle with finding good parts of this set, you can actually go for whatever you want, whatever you already have invested into. For example, maybe you have just a supportive set which increases our max HP and also increases attack depending on our speed, or maybe you have just Space Sealing Station, a spare one. You can also use this one to make your Silverwolf a proper sub DPS character, or maybe you randomly have Kingdom of Banditry, then you can use this one again. But Of course, obviously the best one would be Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise. Talking about main stats on planar ornaments, obviously the best one for Sphere would be a quantum damage increase, because our character is quantum element. Though if you have really big problems with fighting a proper quantum damage sphere, you can also use attack one. Again, those relic sets are temporary anyway, and when you reach maybe Trailblaze level 65, you will be able to farm lots of those sets. I hope you will get a really good one with proper main stats, with proper substats, when we actually find out which is the most efficient combination. And if we're talking about rope, obviously the best one would be an energy regeneration rate, just because we want to use our ultimate as much as possible. Though if you have problems with fighting this stat, you can also go for break or attack, depending on what you get and what additional substats you were lucky to get on those ropes. If we're talking about substats, again, they are similar for every piece of gear. Of course, the best and the most important one we are looking for is effect hit rate. We really want to get this exact subset. After this, we can care about speed or maybe crit rate or maybe attack, depending on the situation, but obviously the best one is effect hit rate. Then of course it's not bad to increase your damage, because anyway Silverwolf is still a sub DPS character, she can deliver lots of damage, but I think since she's more still a supportive type, it's not bad to go for speed. It won't be actually a problem for us. And that's it. I hope this video was useful for you. If you like my content, maybe consider leaving a like under this video, also maybe even subscribing, and also share in the comment section if you're summoning for Silverwolf, or maybe summoning for Loach, or maybe even skipping both of those banners of 1.1. If you still struggle to say what banner you're gonna summon for, I already have a video talking about this topic. You can see it currently on the screen, so maybe consider clicking on it. And that's actually it. Thanks for your kind attention, and see you soon.